The UN folks have called for international action against Syria after warning country is headed for civil war. Now, we already saw that Egypt had an uprising. We already saw that Libya had an uprising. We already saw that Yemen is having an uprising. And we already see that Syria has been having an uprising for a while. Now, what I want to look at is that the international pressure for Syria to stop killing its citizens is growing by the day. But let us look at Iran for a moment. Now, Obama says that the Iranian plot for assassination, he says that no options is off the table. I wonder what he meant by that. Yeah, now the U.S. policy towards Iran, one-way ticket to war, is the policies that the United States have a one-way ticket to war. That means you can't return back to no war. Remember the Iraqi war when President Bush tied 9/11 to as a reason or pretext to go to war against Iraq, excuse me. Sorry, they mean to make that mistake. It sounds like the same drum beats of war. Now, with that being said, what, as you see this article, is explaining that the terror plot that was foiled by the CIA and the FBI, and now some people in these sects are saying that it is a pretext for war. So it's kind of weird because it's a Gulf of Tonkin more than a 9/11. So it's a formality that there was going to be an assassination attempt. It's a formality that there are going to be other things that were going to happen on the United States soil, which will cause war. See, World War I was started when Duke Ferdinand was assassinated, and that was something of a real action. Or World War II, the United States getting into World War II was Pearl Harbor. It was an actual action that happened. Well, this foiled event did not happen. It's almost as if these people are walking through the playground and tripping over the swing and then say Billy did it and they want to beat up Billy. It's the same thing. So the reason why I want to show y'all these things because we're headed to war. And if World War III does happen, like Albert Pike prophesied hundreds of years ago, then based on the evidence that I have that the economies are going to collapse, that society with all of these uprisings, Arab Springs and Occupy New York and all these other formalities, that we are headed for total chaos on Earth. And for some reason, I believe that common element and all these other things were made up. Now, I think common element still can exist, but there's a lot of falsified information, excuse me, that caused me to wonder if common element is weeks behind what they said it was, and it does exist, and they decided to play the common element drum beat earlier to get our mind off of what's really happening, which is the drum beat of war in the Middle East, like the Bilderbergers had said they were going to do after they came out of their meeting. But the Bible talks about Ezekiel 38 and 39 that Iran will be coming down with Russia and a confederation of Islamic nations to attack. Israel. Now, let me give you guys my opinion, and you guys can leave a comment and tell me about what you think is going to happen. But what I see can happen in the not too distant future, weeks away, days away, or a year away, whatever. But I'm leaning more towards days. That Israel will hit Iran's nuclear facility, and in turn, Iran will ignite its satellite states, satellite groups to attack Israel. Remember, Hezbollah has 40-some thousand. By now, it's probably 80-some thousand rockets. Fire them at Israel. And what's going to happen is that Israel is going to retaliate probably against Syria. And NATO will probably join in with that, and Turkey might even join in. I don't know. But Turkey is in the book of Ezekiel 38 and 39, so they may sit out this one. So we have to really look towards the sky, look towards the heavens, because Jesus Christ may come back at any moment, and we want to be ready. We don't want to be caught napping. We don't want to be the 10 virgins, the 5 that did not have oil in their lamps. We need to get close to God. We need to wine and dine. He says in Revelations 3:20, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone opens the door, I will come in and wine and dine with them. If you get close enough to God, you get close to God, start spending time with God, the peace of God, which passes understanding, will engulf you. On my future videos, if there's still time, on my future videos, I'm going to have scripture. I wanted to have scripture on this video, but I didn't get around to having it. But God bless y'all. And also, if y'all hear any clicks or any formality, I'm working on that. I got a habit of hitting the mouse so you can actually hear the clicks.